Everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we're back with more Gwent. I'm trying to remember whether the last time I actually played, whether the Witcher trailer had actually dropped. So was it after? Was it before or after? I've got to say, if they don't play some Gwent in the actual Witcher game, I'm going to be pissed, right? Absolutely love the trailer. I thought it was fantastic. If you're not new to the YouTube channel, then you know that I do have some concerns about the series itself. I haven't loved Cavill yet in that role. I've loved him in other things. I haven't loved him maybe because I'm a bit biased towards the Witcher 3, Witcher game, right? And he just doesn't have that suave, that that silence intensity that Geralt usually has. Well, Cavill is imposing, no doubt, but I've never considered Geralt to be a super imposing guy. He just looks badass and people know not to mess with him, not because he looks overly buff or anything. So I have concerns, but I'm still very much excited for it, and can't wait to actually review it when it actually drops in December. I think it's December 20th. So that's something to look forward to. I do hope they at least play some Gwent. I doubt very much that they'll do. The book readers can let me know whether or not. I know that I haven't read the books. I've been meaning to. I think I read synopsis of it, or I read a few pages or something online, and I saw some reviews, some persons who had legitimate, basically they just said that they had legitimate criticism. Just said it doesn't feel. It feels, I believe it's like it's being narrated by Dandelion. It doesn't feel as though it's Geralt focused as much as the game is. I think he's one of the critiques that I read actually pointed out. So I didn't actually purchase it. I might, for the series that's coming out. And it's already been greenlit for a second season, even though the first hasn't even dropped yet. So exciting news. So whether you're a book reader or a game player, I think you all want this to do well, despite our differences. I just hope that the showrunners don't. I get that they're trying to make something unique so that it will appeal to both the gamers and the book reader. Well, it feels as though they're alienating the game base for the sake of pleasing. I don't know who they're trying to please. I really hope it's not the author that's trying to give a middle finger to CD Projekt Red or anything like that. I really hope not. By insisting that nothing from the game is referenced in the series, because that would just be ridiculous. Anyhow, back to more Gwent. I can rant about the Witcher series another time. Well, I'm doing a bit of experimenting here. A bit of experimenting. Made some changes to include girls. So I've actually taken out. Where is he? Yeah, I've actually taken out Deathwish. I might regret that decision because Deathwish combined with Kieran is one of the the better combinations to have in the final round. When you need a boost in points, right? So I'm doing a bit of experimentation to see how well I can use Gales to complement the Deathwish abilities. But one of the reasons why I removed him from my deck in the first place was because the moment you put him on the field, he's just going to be targeted and he's going to be demolished. I didn't want to spend too much time trying to protect him or get him back on the field. The more time you give your opponent to actually react to your strategy, the further behind you fall. So, and that's the downside of using him. But on the other side of things, while they're distracted with locking his ability or destroying him or something, that gives you ample opportunity to actually execute other strategies. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping will happen. I don't know if that's what will happen, but that's what I'm hoping will happen. I had actually removed Foglet. because I found that every time I drew it, I kept trying to replace it or get rid of it, which meant that it served very little purpose, and it's because of how much they've downgraded the card. They're limiting me to only 1 copies of it, which, you know, only 2 copies of it, being only able to have 2 copies of it in your deck, which is ridiculous, as I've said before in the past, because there are other factions that allow them to actually keep drawing cards. So why is it one faction is being punished for that ability, but another faction is not? So I can only have 2 in my deck, which means I can only activate its ability only once, so it's not much useful anymore. So initially I had replaced it with Fiend here to boost all Deathwish units in my hand, and that worked for a bit. But then it's only useful if I get first round, if I get to go first in a round. After that, it's not particularly useful to me. And I don't know if you've noticed in my videos so far, but I don't get to go first a whole lot. I'm not sure how, what algorithm is being used or how it determines that, but I don't get to go first a whole lot. So I said screw it. If I'm going to go with Gels, then I may as well just put Foglet back in. You could maybe try use the Ancient Foglet instead. The problem with this is the decks that I've been running into, a lot of them have cards that, if you do excess damage, it allows them to either apply bleeding or activate the ability, repeat the ability again. So having a one power unit on the board, it does more harm than good, right? Because it allows them to repeat deploy abilities and stuff like that. Again, things that are missing from the monster faction. Yeah, so I kind of had to just say, like, what, scrap that, put Foglet back in. It may be useful in a pinch, maybe not. Yeah, so yeah, experimental time. See how useful girls can actually be. So yeah, let's get to playing. All right. I guess I can expect the Dwarf Berserker in this deck. Oh damn it, I keep forgetting to look who's first. I hate that they've done this. Before, when you had the light on the side, it tells you who's going to go first. If it's blue, it's you. If it's red, it's your opponent. They don't do that anymore, so now I have to pay keen attention to see who's going to go bloody first. And I hate it. I hate it. Oh god. God damn it. Yeah, if I don't get to go first, girls is not particularly useful here. So I should have tried to get rid of it, but yeah, hey, I'm stuck with it, and we're gonna get butchered this first round. But let's see if we can make the most of it.
Right, come on! Who's first?
Ledweb parledo sial nota.
You have a card to get rid of it. Everyone always does. Come on. It's something of a bluff. Perhaps later, if it gets destroyed, I can use Renew to get it back in the last, the third round, if I'm so lucky. Come on, you know it's too dangerous to leave him on the field. Ah, interesting.
At last.
Very interesting. I'll take it. Hey, I'll take it. how long does this last? Damage by 2 for 4 turns. So I either need to get someone else on that row or use Whispering Hillock, but I may have to use it next turn. If he guesses Dwarf Berserker, bye bye Gels. Probably should have just used Werecat, shouldn't I? Yeah, I would have activated twice and been able to take that out. But it's gonna be random. I mean, what are the odds that he hits it? That he hits Gels? It's 1 in 3. So if he turns it, oh, I guess it's skipping a turn. That's risky. Probably shouldn't have done that, mate. Alright. Kind of gives me a chance. Yeah, only 1 Dwarf Berserker for you. Well, you know, Gels is turning out to be quite useful. But that is, of course, if your opponent didn't draw a card to get rid of it. This round is turning out a lot better than I thought it would have. A lot better. Placing is better on that 1 unit. It's gonna take out Rot Fiend next. Oh, the turn's over. Okay. Actually, don't have to use that so soon. Let's get rid of the other assets. If he doesn't find a way, if he doesn't hit Gels, then I can take up both units at once if I use Whispering Hillock on Imperial Manticore here. So depends on what he plays next. But the round is not won quite yet. But he must know he needs to get rid of it. Fingers crossed that I actually draw Renew. Okay, he passed. Figured. Hopefully I draw Renew. Because I know he doesn't have something in his hand to destroy Gels right now. He could draw something, but he doesn't know. I wouldn't mind putting it back on the field for the next round. Come on, Renew. Come on, Renew. Come on. Come on. Oh, God, no. Sadly, no. Yeah. Risky to do. Since I'm expecting him to go Dwarf again, a good strategy might actually be to get as many units on the board as possible to reduce the odds of him damaging the unit I don't want. So, we're going to go with Endrega Eggs. Yeah. The argument could be made. I probably should have passed this round, but benefit of the doubt here. I need him to use up as many cards in his hand as possible for the 3rd round. Because I know I'm not going to win this one.
If anyone's got any hooch left.
At least I doubt it very much.
I shall save all your time.
Where you play a Dwarf, get a charge, so that's only useful for 1 turn. Alright, so I can use Predatory Dive next if necessary. Alright, not bad, not bad. to card. If you survive, goes off by only one. Interesting. I don't want to use this too soon, but if he spreads our dive now, it's just going to take my card out. Yeah.
Be gone. Such a shame. I must kill you.
Doesn't seem to have a lot of cards that do a whole lot of immediate damage, right? He's relying on the dwarves and their ability to chip away at you round by round, and that's kind of the weakness of the dwarf deck. But you have to ensure that you keep the round very short. The longer the duel goes, the better it goes for them. Can either take it or get rid of it. Alright, 5 cards. Only got 4 left. Ah. Okay, so this guy just happened to draw.
Take one wowing step further.
Yeah. I can start taking them now or wait until he has changed them. What are the odds? Right now I can only target this one. So it might be in my best interest to get rid of it from now. Alright, we're gonna take a risk here, but hey. Let's do it. I'm gonna try and take one of his doors. I figure unless he's gonna transform into one. I could have taken one of these, but they're less useful as they are now. I could regret that decision. Ah, he's going for the kill. He's not transforming them. He's just gonna try and boost them.
Run from no one, and I'm not about to start.
Or is the intention to transform them afterwards? Oh, interesting. Do I want to keep waiting? I'm sure he has a way to transform them, but by that time he may just butcher me by the end of the turn. It's tough to say. Probably should have taken them initially, but you would have still summoned them anyway. It wouldn't change anything. It's like he's going for the opposite. He doesn't have the card he needs to transform them into the... Interesting. Very interesting. Well, let's see. Or maybe he does and he's saving it for the final round. Usually they'd play that in front, so he could just be trying to just boost the hell out of all of them, given how many units he can summon with this goddamn deck. He's gonna play that ridiculous, yeah. Great tree. Boom. I don't know. Add 4, that's 17. Give me 5. So I'm 22, and then this is just gonna give me. It's just gonna give me 3. It's just gonna bring me up to 25. It's not enough to catch up. It's not enough to catch up, so I'd be wasting that card. Well played, well played. Come on, renew. 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 Oh, man. No renew. Don't need you. Damn it. Not one Deathwish unit. That was not great. All the units that I drew were consume units.
For your pal, anything.
Yeah, resilience, gain immunity. They can't target it, it's interesting. Yeah. Not much to do about it. We don't have a single Deathwish unit to help me, and somehow couldn't draw renew or even current there. Wow, what are the odds? Yeah, it's not looking great. I might be losing this one. I can't target the one that's actually being boosted. Yeah. If I'd drawn a Deathwish unit, it would have been great. I could have actually won. If I'd drawn renew, could have won. Couldn't draw either of them, so got screwed. I mean, I could have just gotten rid of this dwarf now, but I was expecting him to play something at a higher. Yeah, I guess not. Yeah. Yep, lost that one. Even with the change, you can't draw that one card that you need at the end. You keep getting shitty cards. I will say Gales actually worked pretty well though. Worked pretty well. Just couldn't draw a decent card in the last round. Even the second round went pretty well. Who's it this time? Old Faithful. Yikes. Finally, I get to go first. I swear I go first like maybe 1 in 10 bloody times. Alright. That's fine, that's fine. I really don't need you right now. Or you. Jesus. Get rid of Foglet. No, give me another Foglet. Okay, I don't have either of them in hand, so I can either play a copy of Gals or Gals himself. Probably should have gone with Rot Fiend. So if I have two girls on the field, will they actually activate their abilities twice? That would be mad. This one's so soon. Something I've always wanted to do is to take that Philippa if I manage to draw renew the next round and use it against them, but no, it seems to work out quite well whenever I attempt it.
Naivety is a fool's blessing.
Another one.
Such a shame. I must kill you.
Maybe today will be the day I can actually use it. If I had it Whispering Hillock, I could test that theory, but I don't. The Mage, unfortunately, not available to the Monster faction.
Long live, etc., etc.
Then we realize to remove stuff by one. I'm worried about using this too soon. Tisk. Probably should have taken that. We'll see whether or not I regret it later on. Which to be more concerned about.
Have you no honor? Stand and fight!
Interesting strategy. Oh yeah, I did swap out I forgot one of the cards for Feather. It's been pretty useful so far. Alright, uses leader ability. Always the number one objective. Force the leader ability in the first round if possible. Oh, I guess I played two of them. Nice. Nice. Taking one of them.
The sky'll burn with the eternal fire!
That worked out pretty well. let's get rid of that.
Fall overboard and I'm not jumping in after you.
It's not a unit by 2. See, do we take the risk of winning if possible, or do we pass on this first round? There's no guarantee that I will win it. There's 1 booster, so I guess 1 charge.
We shall avenge Calantha.
This will be a tricky one. Screw it. It means he has to use up that 1 card to win. Great. If not, we got the first round. Ooh. He's got it.
The traitors will pay for what they did.
Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about, using ancient. If I did go with the ancient one. Alright, we're out the first round. Let's see if we can't work a miracle. Come on. Why can't I draw a Deathwish unit in the second round? This is the second battle. If he doesn't pass, I'm screwed. I have nothing. Maybe I have too many units with consume. Yeah, he knows he has a good hand. He's good. I'm screwed.
It seems you
I certainly don't. Mad Cayenne. I'm guessing this isn't available to other factions too.
Attention! Put in arms!
Cheh. It's not great. Can't draw. First round I can make do, but for the second and third round I've managed to draw Jack. Yeah, managed to work a miracle. Yeah, managed to work a miracle. Please give me a decent hand. For a minute I forgot you were in the deck. It's not a great one in terms of so work with this. We will work with this one. If I had to, that's a shame. It might be worth it, but don't want to play that too soon. Alright. Your effects are usually better long term, so you go on in the field first. And depending on what he plays next will determine what I use Renew for.
Nothing to lose.
Brilliant. actually need Imperial Manticore and I don't have it. Let's see. Do I have anything else? Don't have a choice. No choice but to take the risk. If he has all units in his hand that are above 4, I'm screwed. Yeah.
For this.
So in other words, I'm screwed. Yeah. I don't have another turn, so yeah. Man. This is not turning into a good experiment. Not turning into a good experiment. If I'd kept Detlef instead of Gills, I could have used that instead here. I could have won that if I had it. So it's useful in some instances, not so much in others.
The morrow shall bring a better day.
But I need to find which of the two is most useful for the most duels. The most, yeah. I'm not going first for this. Come on, lead the luck.
Best give up now!
Such a shame. I must kill you.
Such a nice ability that doesn't require you to do anything to activate it, but play it. I think the only card in the monster faction that does that is a Witcher that's like 9 provision or something like that. Oh no, Betsy. Don't eat me, Betsy.
Give me a target.
Interesting. Hasn't used a tactical advantage. Okay, I'm guessing you're saving it for that card.
They charging? Ah,
Or not.
stop him.
Still not using it. So what is he saving it for? What is he saving it for? I know he has more than one of these cards in his deck. I've played that against that deck before. I usually have several. He has this one as well.
It seems you do.
Guess he was saving it for that. Wondering if at a certain point I should pass. Smart. Need some siege units for the monster deck. They're really useful. Gotta do one.
On guard! A duel! To a duel, I
That's an
challenge
order
thee!
ability, so I guess not. Let's roll the die, take one or the other. I prefer this one, but I'll just be damaging it. Perfect. It's time for a boost. Could just destroy it now, but that might deter him from playing the rest of his cards. I would prefer that he play in his entire hand. So if he intends to boost it again, let's fold out. Come on. Good. Good. Although I may need to use it on that instead.
We've a hero in our midst.
Yeah, because it could reset my units. Could reset Kieran, although it wouldn't matter, would it? Reset a unit. Inspired. Could add bleeding to it, so yeah, but it would have been his turn first, so I probably should have gone with that. Yeah. Should have just targeted him instead. Yeah, I'm afraid of that. I'm gonna take the win. Puts me a card down, but here's hoping I draw something. Nope. Get that out of the window. Huh. This is a risky one. Well, let's go for it. To hell with it. To hell with it. Ready. Let's hope he doesn't have two of those in his deck.
fall overboard and I'm not jumping in after you.
Oh, God damn it. Yeah, but now I have to play it. Damn it. I guess either way I would have had to. Alright, got 2 cards, man. Ah, and that one at that. So did you play the last card?
I'm not
What?
afraid. Fear is a commoner's
Didn't
trait.
use this leader ability. Now that is a powerful card, I've gotta say. And this is what I'm stuck with. Could end up with a worse hand. And he still hasn't used his leader ability, so this might not go very well. What do I have to do to draw Imperial Manticore? I swear I have the worst luck.
We shall avenge Calantha.
Not sure all these units can fit on that one field. On that row. What are the bloody odds? Seriously? What are the odds that he has that card in his hand? Got to be kidding me. What are the bloody odds? Come on. Get it over with. Put me out of my misery. What's this now? Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's no catching up with that. This doesn't highlight the imbalance in the monster deck, the monster faction. I don't know what does. But basically all the cards that with decent abilities are gold cards. I have no bronze cards that are the least bit decent. So the moment I use those in the first or second round, I'm screwed. Which is why I always put so much emphasis on getting the opponent to use all the cards, if not nearly all the cards in their hand before we get to second or third, because I know we've had so many losses. I know that the only chance you really have is if it comes down to you and them with only 2 or 3 cards, and even then you're still, the odds are still against you.
The gate must be secure.
Alright, so this seems like one that's gonna be boosting his units heavily. Alright, finally draw a Manticore. It's something. Already.
Naivety's a fool's blessing.
Interesting, he didn't try to destroy it, so he doesn't have a card that does.
We'll put Mahakam boots to Imperial arses.
Not yet. Not if I don't need to. That's a decent combination, but it depends on your opponent not having Jack in their hand to actually get rid of one of the copies. Yeah. If he has a Berserk, Dwarf Berserker deck, there's no way we're going to win the third round with all those cards in his hand, so we're going to need to push this one for a whole bloody lot. It would be nice if I actually got Renew, but yeah. Well, maybe I need to get rid of one of these consume units. Kieran is the highest one. Since I no longer have, or since for this deck I've...
The waters of Broccolon, their taste still upon my lips.
God. Yeah.
My name? I don't recall.
Such a shame. I must kill you. Some things cannot be forgiven.
How is it that, how is it possible that you destroy my card first, but you get your boost before my Deathwish ability actually activates? When the only reason your ability activates... Oh, I don't know. Needs to cut down some of those units that he has on the field, that's for sure. But again, the name of the game is reduce his hand by as much as possible. So.
Give my right hand for marinated
Getting
leather.
harmony. Oh, I guess the harmony the furs. Interesting. Why would you hit that? Ah, come on. Why would you hit that? There are 4 other options on the field. Man.
They can hide, but there is no escape.
I mean, if he widens the gap too much, he's just going to pass at a certain point. Oh, wait. Yeah. But considering that he can't lose, he can't afford to lose this round. I doubt it. Yeah.
Swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn.
Alright, need to play you as quickly as possible. No point doing that, and I could just switch on that one. But I'm certainly not going to benefit from that harmony. Don't get how this harmony thing is working. A unit on your side, its primary category is unique among all other units. That stopped being true a good while now.
Your next move shall be your last!
Guess he has something else with poison. Yep. Of course. If I destroy one of his units, will he still pass or will he still play a card? I guess is the question now. I go down by 9, that brings him down to 14. Down to 44. Will he risk it or will he not risk it? Damn it. Damn it. Because he figured there's no way for him to widen that gap with one card. With the right card I could, not with this one. Yeah. Damn. And now I need to draw the right card to actually win, and I sincerely doubt I'm gonna draw it. Yeah. Man.
We've lived in isolation for too bloody long.
Percentage in your hand by 2. Brilliant. try to focus on taking his units out or boosting my own. Yeah. Oh man.
Let us sing the song of steel.
This has got to be the worst round I've played in quite a while. Not this round specifically, but since the streamer started. Of course he has that card, so he's gonna play that card to play two of those things.
When the white frost comes, do not eat the yellow snow.
How'd this get on? That screwed up my plans. These are all in the melee row, so otherwise it's not great. I lose more than he does. Yeah. Not even sure if going back to the original deck would even have made a difference in that duel. Let's give it a final go. If it doesn't work out, I'm just gonna ditch Gels and go back to Deathwish, because I'm getting decimated. I can see certain opportunities where I may have been able to get Deathwish from the deck. Where I had the option to use Renew to bring something back, but I had to just... Gels is useless in that scenario because of the cards that I drew before, so... these matches are not points in favor of using Gales. I've seen a lot of people suggesting that he's a good, you should always have Gales in your deck if you have a Deathwish unit, but to be honest, given the current state of the monster faction, he doesn't work as well anymore, because there's so many ways to get rid of him now, and to lock him, remove him, move him, he's just not as effective, because you need some sort of foresight to be able to use him, unless your opponent somehow doesn't draw a card that allows them to deal with him in the first time, then he's not very useful. And then in the second round, if you do have something like Renew to pull something from your graveyard, you're gonna have to choose between him and something else, and in most cases right now he's not the best option to return to the field, because you need to have drawn a Deathwish unit for it to work in the first place. And yeah, based on the units that your opponent can now have, even with just 3 cards, it's not as useful. He's useful when you're using gold cards like Marina or Imperial Manticore, but if you don't draw that, you don't have the bronze units to justify having him in your deck in the first place. You just don't.
Shark out of water's still got its teeth.
Ah. A bard's life for me. So, to summarize, Gels is useful if you can manage to draw these two cards along with him. Otherwise, just doesn't work. Alright, let's go. Oh damn it, I forgot I'm not first. Why did I keep him? Oh man. Ugh. And this is the worst opponent to have actually made that mistake with.
I'll consider this my tip.
The worst. But screw it. We're not gonna win this first round. Not with the blunder that I just made and that leader ability. Searching his hand for something to get rid of it. I'm sure he has one, unless he didn't draw the card, but I've played them before and I usually have one card that does the trick. Already use the leader ability. Alright, so they're planning to use the bounty to get rid of him. Yeah.
The job's a job.
Yep. Refigures. What, this boosts whenever he plays a card? Ah. Interesting ability. If I can't figure out a way to get him to use as many cards as possible here, we're also screwed because I know what this strategy is going to be, which is to summon this gigantic ass Kraken looking card and
Appeals can be filed within 7 years.
do I want to waste any more cards this turn on this? Yeah. Not gonna draw it, am I? Nope. Come on. Oh yeah. Seriously. He's not gonna pass. I mean, just one, which means that he knows I have a shitty hand. To 6. Oh, sure. Bam. The end of every turn boosts off by 2.
Exploitation. Now try the alchemist.
I shall savor your death.
Shite. Ah, what just happened there?
Thought I'd seen everything, but I'm actually impressed.
Do all of these cards actually have this ability? Yeah, okay, I'm out. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm out of that one. Need a win. I should switch back to the other deck. Might not be a bad idea. Someone with a bleeding deck.
Shall die, worm.
I'm sure I will. I do not doubt your words. I'm not going first, so why would I draw two of those? Yeah, bleeding decks, of course, is, you know, the longer the duel goes on for, the worse off you are. So, it's one of those.
There is no escape.
So, like many of the other decks, the best way to counter this is, again, because you're using a monster faction, the best way to counter this is, again, to ensure that they use as many of their cards as possible. I thought about adopting the bleeding thing, but it's like I said before, I shouldn't have to change the cards that I like to actually win a duel. I should be able to win a duel that I want with any deck. Not win all of them, of course, but, you know, I should be able to comfortably win enough duels with the deck that I've chosen, as long as it's a decent deck. And this is, but even with a decent one, you're getting your ass kicked. Come on. Not gonna pass that quickly. Are you just... Oh, okay. Wants to borrow current there. It doesn't activate his ability though. I'm wondering if he thought it would, but the downside with current there is the summoning that isn't considered as a play. So deploy abilities will not work. I guess it, you know, I should be happy. In this case, it actually works out for me, but I want this. Will it give it to me? Nope, gave me back current there. So I'm gonna use Kikimora Warrior. I need to get it on the field quickly. Still hasn't used his tactical advantage. Oh no.
Mankind is a virus, a plague.
Do not have a Suna with me. He seems intent on playing this throughout. Considering he hasn't used his leader ability, it's an odd choice. Because usually he'd have used that earlier on to ensure, you know, he maximizes that. Because he must have a unit that will benefit from the bleeding. Proto Flighter. Activate bleeding again, and then he's gonna play another vampire that gets a boost. Oh, that's surprising. I'll just take this down. If all it means is being one card down, I'll take it. Can't allow him to build up his hand again, so although I'm sure he's got what he needs now. God damn you. Huh. I only have one Deathwish unit. He doesn't do me a heck of a lot of good. Have to make do, I suppose. Of course. Of bloody course. It very well. So I could from there. So I have a way to activate it anyway. Bane of my existence, the portal. That's already got rid of it. That sucks. Of course he has that. Did I miscalculate? Shit. Somehow I thought I would have brought him down to 6. I'm on a roll today. I am on a roll today. Could have kept that card. Man. Can't draw renew for the life of me. The whole point of put it in the deck is so I could use it, but you can never bloody draw it. Again. Alright, just for the hell of it, let's try going back to the original deck and see if our luck changes, because this is not looking great. I'm gonna want to swap you back. I'm wondering about you. Whether or not I shouldn't have stuck with the Griffin. Problem is the Griffin forces me to destroy something. If not, it gets destroyed. Flutter doesn't force me to destroy anything. So meaning if there's no card on the field, I think I can still play it. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten in that scenario yet, but I think so. The problem with it is it takes 4 turns to get the remainder. And this gives me the immediate points. I'll leave it be for now. Final battle. I've had enough losses for today. That was fast. Shoop. I haven't seen this in a while. God damn it, who's going first? I'm gonna guess it's not me, judging by if history is any indication. Serious. Oh, it is me. Okay. Syndicate deck.
My specialty. Allow me to show you.
The crabs. Yes.
One file to one.
I'm counting on luck to give me one of them now.
job.
Let's try this again. Why did he refuse to select one of the other cards? This cannot be random. Anyhow. That cannot be random. Let's work with this one. This might be a bit premature, but considering that his tactics seems to include bleeding, I might actually need Kikimo Warrior to kind of eat up some of those units. Better that it goes first.
It's all right. We're alone here, just between us.
Thought it would force him to play a card. Guess not. That old thing.
You'll suffer the consequences of your foolishness. I shall
Can you give me my card back, please? God Almighty. I've been waiting for you. Oh, but it's activated just on deploy, so there's no point. Yeah. Next tribute is free. Usually it's when they want to summon that card that summons this Leviathan looking thing. It's bounty time.
Fear's already besmirched your breeches, I presume.
He's gonna destroy it anyway. Might as well, but yeah, let's try a unit with bounty on it.
The church welcomes all.
All are free to convert.
I may have to just pass now. I don't particularly want to use up these units. It might be important for the final round. No, might. Very likely are. But maybe we should push it. Are you? I have nothing to activate for these two, so can't replenish leader ability. If you're listening CDPR, these allow some card in the monster faction to renew. It's available for other factions, just not for this one. Alright, this is the deciding round. See what I get. Guess that's something. God, for the love of God. Jesus. Why?
Sorry, I got a bit carried away.
Why does it insist on putting Foglet back in my hand? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I only get one chance of this as in Jago.
Never a problem 4 inches of steel couldn't solve.
Interesting.
The eternal fire casts a long shadow.
I don't know why he didn't just use. Use up those coins, those overpowered coins. I was expecting this one. Yeah, he immediately wins here. Yeah. There's no catch up, or at least not. It's unlikely. Oh yeah, still has a leader based on how his leader ability works. I'm guessing he has a way to poison, to destroy, to poison other units. Next turn. Yeah, Vivaldi back. I've seen this one before. Yep. Yeah. It's not a great day, guys. Not a great day at all. Nonetheless, you know, I mean, in terms of actually using, replacing Deathwish with Gales, it's not a great idea. So I'm going to be going back to the original. It doesn't work. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out some way to modify this deck or to make the monster faction usable in a non-monster faction world right now. So I'm going to stick with keeping Deathwish in the deck because he's definitely more useful. If it wasn't for that god-awful overpowered card at the end, it could have actually won, but it didn't work out that way. We're gonna stick with it. There still seems to be a bug with not just Foglet, but any card that has a duplicate in your deck. Whenever you have a card with a duplicate in your deck, you're almost guaranteed to draw that card, and to some extent to draw both copies of the card. I don't know why they haven't fixed the bug. I thought they had, but it's not fixed. You could be redrawing and you choose to redraw that card, and then the duplicate just comes right back. So it's obviously a bug, and it makes it a pain in the ass when this is as much as you can do with the faction that you've given with that's been gutted. It would be nice if they just fix some of the bugs that are there so that you don't have to keep combing over trying to pull your hair out. But yeah, there is no argument to keep girls in this deck right now. Not with things as they are now. Perhaps in future updates or something where the monster faction has been fixed. But as it is now, it's good for making the first draw, and again, a lot of people make arguments to have girls in your deck, but it's good if you're going first, which if you've seen so far, out of the matches that I've played, I've only gone first, I believe, once or twice. So it's not great for, I don't know why I can't go first, but it's not great if you're not playing first. Even if you do, you can, it's just a decoy. It just serves as a decoy for maybe one turn or something, and it's pretty much useless in the third round unless you draw specific cards. But again, this may just be particular to my playstyle or to the Deathwish, to my playstyle. Let me just say that, because those that use maybe bleeding or something, maybe they can benefit from it, or I don't know, but it's not particularly useful with the monster faction as it is now. You kind of have to invest in two different playstyles instead of relying on one. And if you're going to be using Gales, it kind of forces you to, change your deck and to be purely Deathwish focused just on Deathwish, which isn't possible now up against the other factions. You can't do that. You kind of have to have a backup. Which is where Deathwish comes in for me. So if I take Deathwish out, I'm taking my backup out, and I'm saying I'm gonna depend solely on Deathwish, and Deathwish alone can carry me through to win a battle. So that is it for me, guys. Thanks very much for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week this time. Hopefully I have better luck by then. Take care.